Welcome into the Alabama Bass Trail Podcast presented by Phoenix Boats. I'm Kay Donaldson, the director of the Alabama Bass Trail, and your host for this week's podcast. The scenery is a little different this week. The anticipation is just a little different this week. It is Alabama Bass Trail Championship Week, and I cannot wait to get to Decatur, Alabama on Wheeler Lake to close out the 2025 season, the 12th season on the Alabama Bass Trail Tournament Series. Things look a little different today. The anticipation is a little bit different. Glad to share my backyard with you. This is where I go to escape all of the day's work back here. So welcome to my backyard. So just wanted to say, I do appreciate everyone for being patient. Last week, I was not on the air, did not have an interview for you. I was attending the American Sportfish Association conference down in Key West, Florida. I just attend the events. I don't get to choose where they go. But yeah, it was kind of fun to hang out down in Key West for a week. And what an amazing conference. For those of you who don't know, American Sport Fishing Association is the host of ICAST, but they do so much more. They work a lot on local, state, and federal politics that affect the fishing industry with the excise tax and all of that. They've been busy over the last few months. So I want to say thank you to Glenn, Mary Beth, and the entire staff there at ASA for a great conference. It's always good to be able to get together with industry professionals from all over the gamut of bass fishing. You had manufacturers, you had marketing reps, you had sales reps, you had distributors, you had retailers, media there, as well as people like myself that represent, different tournament organizations. Probably one of my favorite moments at the conference was getting to sit down with Miss Kathy Fennell. And for those of you who don't know Kathy, she was the president CEO of FLW, and then is now the general manager, president, CEO, whatever they refer to it, for Major League Fishing. She's been in the industry a long time. She recently, 2022, was inducted to the Bass Fishing Hall of Fame. And then this week in Key West, she was awarded a Lifetime Achievement Award from the ASA with her work that she's done through that organization. I have to say, when I sit back and think about women in this industry that truly blazed a trail for people like myself and others, you think of Kathy Fennell, you think of Teresa Johnson at Phoenix Boats, you think of Tammy Foshee, formerly of Big Bite Baits, who's now working with Fish and Tackle Retailer. You think about those ladies and the legacy that they've left on this industry, and it makes you want to work a little bit harder, and you see what they went through and what they're currently doing, and they're still very, very, very active in this industry. So it was a really good time, a great time to sit and listen to the woes and the successes that the fishing industry has had over the last 12 months. So everyone, of course, is worried about tariffs. That was a big topic on the list, but it was a really great conference, and shout out to ASA for putting on a great conference this late in the year. But it is championship week. Alabama Bass Trail Championship headed to Wheeler Lake, Decatur, Alabama. 67,000 acres of bass fishing heaven in my book. And I look forward to being there. The last time we were there for the championship was 2015. 41-41, still the heaviest two-day weight in Alabama Bass Trail history. Billy Sharp and Kevin Stubberfield took home that title and a brand new Phoenix Boats. That's right. For the first 3 years, first 6 years, I think the Alabama Bass Trail gave away a brand new Phoenix Boats fully rigged out. And in 2020, we started with giving away the $50,000 first place prize. So looking forward to it. Looking forward to being back in what was my hometown for a really long time. Getting to work with the Decatur Morgan County Tourism Bureau there, Daniel Gibson, Don Duke-Manier, and the entire staff. A lot of them, well, a couple of them are still there from when I worked for the city of Decatur. And shout out Sharon Holder and Dolores for still being there and working hard to promote the city of Decatur. Going to be a fun week. Get to work alongside my daughter, Emma, who works for Decatur Morgan County Tourism. And it's just going to be a real fun week. Looking forward to it. Really looking forward to seeing if this heavyweight is going to stand up. Wheeler's changed a lot since 2015. I'm not sure we're there at its best time of the year, but based on the EQs that we saw there a couple of weeks ago, I think there's a possibility that that record could fall. But I felt very confident the Gunnersville record would fall a couple of times, and we just haven't seen that happen. So a lot of good anglers are going to be on the water. Looking forward to being there and all of that. But what I'm looking forward to in just a minute is to have Jason Durran, Darien Craig, and Luke Duncan on board with me here on the podcast. They're not going to be here, but they're going to be here on the podcast. So y'all are not going to want to miss this. And also, I just want to prelude a little third segment for you. We're going to talk a little bit about what we've been handed down from the grand jury, the recommendations that they have, what we've heard about the boat wreck from Smith Lake earlier this year, and what tournament organizations across the board are doing to make sure that we are in compliance with that. So y'all stay tuned. If you're an angler of the Alabama Bass Trail, you're going to want to hear that third segment. And who doesn't want to hear Jason, Darien, and Luke and their picks for Wheeler Lake? So y'all stay tuned. We'll be right back here on the Alabama Bass Trail podcast presented by Phoenix Boats. Stay tuned.
Things you let me see.
I'm going to go ahead and start recording because all this needs to be in there. Like, at least Ben needs to take it out for the short takes. There's no doubt.
Barry White is joining the ABT podcast today.
Can we get a let's get it on? Can we just get that?
Let's get it on. This is
I want Jason to record my my voicemail on my phone.
And just like that, I replaced as MC.
This is the first cold front of the season. Let's call it that.
I mean,
$1 million bucks, dude.
Can
I
you
ain't
say
gonna
that
lie,
till Saturday? I mean,
Yeah.
come on. Wow. Wow.
Daddy sing. One more. Daddy sing bass. Come on, Luke.
Mama Sandra.
All right. That's enough about me today.
I mean, good morning. How are y'all today?
I'm awake.
Scrambling.
Same.
We're here.
Same.
We're here. We're back. And we're back for another Alabama Bass Trail.
Cheers for that. Another Alabama Bass Trail. Well, let me officially welcome everyone back to the Alabama Bass Trail podcast presented by Phoenix Boats. Mr. Barry White, Mr. Luke Duncan, and Darien Craig.
Chef from South Park joining us. Who was Barry White?
How would you like some?
It was Barry White. No, that was Isaac Hayes. Never mind. Sorry.
Isaac Hayes. That's true.
That's Isaac Hayes. My bad.
So, in my preliminary leading up to this, I said, you're never going to guess. I mean, you'll never know what you're going to get out of these three. And as always, they deliver right on the money. So, guys, it has been a minute since we've all been together.
It has.
Yeah, but we've been keeping that text line hot. Y'all know that. So,
yeah, hotline bling.
I mean, it
hotline bling.
Okay. Take two. I don't even know. Don't even know where to start here. Alabama Bass Trail Championship. It's been 4 months since we've been together. A lot of things going on in the industry. I mean, we've had some big tournaments. EQ was on Wheeler just a couple weeks ago. We saw some big weights from the top competitors fell off a little bit. So we're going to talk about all that. But give us an update, Jason. What have you been doing since we were off on?
We've been building boats. Let's just say that we've been building boats nonstop. So it's been a good little break here. Ready to get back to some tournament coverage, and it's gonna be fun. I'm excited.
Luke, you've been on the road. You've had a couple of MPFLs. Did you go to IBEX? I didn't even ask you.
Yes, ma'am, I did. Yeah, I've been back-to-back MPFLs, Logan Martin, which was awesome. Then the MPFL Championship, and I got to do live coverage and MC that. And then I got in the truck and drove to Tampa, Florida for the to help Jason and them be able to build boats. They gotta have boat parts for that. So I've been slinging boat parts when I'm not talking about bass fishing like always, but busy, but I'm ready for a little. I mean, I consider Wheeler one of the home lines. I used to fish with my dad a ton, so I'm looking forward to championship week on Wheeler Lake.
How about you, Darien? I know you've had a lot going on in your world as well.
I have had a lot going on in my world. a lot of work stuff, family stuff, everything's going on. But one really cool thing I've been working on, Costco called us about getting into all Costco. So we're going out to Texas 4 weeks, not straight, but pretty close, from now to the end of December to try and land Costco. And that's pretty neat. And also, one other really cool thing, we're almost at our 1 millionth bag of tea sold. So whoever buys this bag on Monday gets a lifetime supply of tea.
Wow.
He
Wow.
definitely has like 5 of those bags.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
100.
do you get to tour the factory like Willy Wonka? You're gonna leave
Yeah.
somebody in a big vat of tea.
Yeah, and then we got Jason coming in on the intercom, and he's just gonna whisper to everyone as they walk through.
He's a lot-
Yeah.
Two
Can't even
cups,
do it.
2 cups of sugar.
Do it our way. Hey,
Yes.
did you know who was almost Willy Wonka in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory? Who almost got that role?
I saw that this week, but I don't remember.
Elvis.
Elvis, yes. No, I heard that on Rogan. I heard that on Joe Rogan in my many hours of driving. Yeah, Rogan said that 70s karate Elvis was almost Willy Wonka.
Yep. There's a little
Are
piece
we
of.
glad that that didn't happen? Or
Yeah.
I think that would have been legendary, dude. 70s Elvis was a great Elvis until it tragically ended, but 70s
Until it
Elvis,
wasn't. Until it wasn't a great
70s
Elvis.
fried peanut butter and jelly sandwich, maybe not doing some illegal stuff from time to time. Elvis was awesome Elvis.
that Great White North, baby.
Yeah.
I gotta ask, was it peanut butter and jelly or was it peanut butter and banana?
I think it was
Banana.
peanut butter banana. I butchered that.
Fried peanut butter banana.
Yeah.
I thought it was.
Jason's Mississippi
I love
self
it.
get me for that.
I'm not a peanut butter and jelly fan, but I am a peanut butter and banana fan. So that's why I thought Elvis and I had at least that in common. So, So anyway, let's I digress. We were supposed to be talking about the Alabama Bass Trail Championship on
Yeah.
Cleveland
Where'd you-
Lake. 170 teams, north and south anglers coming up. 4141 is the 2-day heaviest weight ever weighed in an Alabama Bass Trail Championship on Wheeler Lake. Billy Sharp and Kevin Stubblefield are not in the field. Rest in peace, Mr. Billy Sharp passed away a few years ago, but Kevin's still actively fishing. Thought I might should have him call in on Saturday morning and just talk about reliving that with him. And so I may do that. So anyway, let's talk about Wheeler Lake. We saw some big weights. Laker Howell had some big weights at the EQs last week. We saw Matt Adams, had some amazing weights. I guess we're glad. Some of the people are glad they're not in this race come Saturday. So let's talk about, can we expect that out of ABT guys this coming week, Luke?
I think we'll see 2 or 3 teams absolutely put up some big weights. But if you saw in the EQs, the weights, as they tend to do in the fall, they tapered off once you got down into the field. But man, Wheeler is, I want to say back. We've seen that with ABTs we've had there. The weights have been great, but the fall is just kind of stingy. So I think there's definitely the potential to see that, those low 20-pound to even 25-pound bags out of the top 2 or 3 teams that we'll see going into the final day.
Can they do it 2 days in a row?
Laker House sure did. Listen, I mean,
look at it. Just one pond up from there, what they just did this weekend. Like, obviously it's different, but the fish are there, same river. I definitely think you could do it, especially how good these guys are. Somebody who's like super hot right now, Mark and Tim both fishing the big tournament this weekend. Zeke just winning the BFL regional. Like, these guys are hot and on them. I think we're definitely going to see it.
No doubt. Stable weather too. Looking at the 10-day right now, stable weather, no huge curves, no big fronts. I mean, I think fingers crossed for no FOG. Sorry, I just cursed us. But I think absolutely see big weights.
I was going to say stable weather. I mean, we're looking at mid to high 50s with the daytime temps 78 to 82. So I think, that bodes well. We needed some of those cooler nights, and we really didn't start getting those till last week. Like, we had some 69s and 70s at night, but this 55, 57 degrees, I think, may help things just a little bit. Most people would think cold front coming in, but this is for 5 to 7 days prior to the tournament. I think it's going to help things. Jason?
Yeah, I think it's going to kind of continue to warm up throughout the week. It's kind of cool right now. And I think some of those guys will notice a change. Even the lake could change Friday to Saturday. It could definitely change from practice to Friday, but I really feel like the lake could fish very different even on Saturday. I mean, it's all based on when they pull current, and they tend to change it up between Friday and Saturday. So guys that are leading it on Friday may really have to do a little bit different in their area even to catch fish.
I've been looking at not only the forecast for Decatur, but actually up into Chattanooga and some of those upper areas to see if we'd have any water come down that lake. And it doesn't look like we're going to have a tremendous amount of rain anywhere that might change the flow or cause us to have additional current. So, will the smallmouth play if we don't have a lot of current?
I think it makes it harder for sure. And I think we saw that with Matt Adams, you know, when the EQ had great bags until Saturday. Saturday was, and he still had 19 on Saturday. He caught a couple, but he had to, from what I saw, he kind of had to change up what he had been doing the first 2 days because the flow was not as good. But then reading an interview with Matt, he goes, man, I actually like it when they don't run as much current. So maybe I don't know what I'm talking about at all. But I would say if that tail race deal is happening, spoiler alert, it is. All the time on Wheeler, I feel like at this point. I think obviously current flow generation is the biggest factor there, and whether you can catch them 2 days in a row. And like Jason said, they tend to turn the switch off sometime on Saturday. They don't care about our tournament coverage and if you want to win all the money or not.
Darren, where do you think your first run will be Saturday morning or Friday morning? Sorry. Used to us being on Saturday.
First run will be over Jack's. Second run is the one you want to talk about. I probably get over to
maybe the third one actually.
Third one,
yeah. Second one might be that Porta John.
Yeah, Ingles.
Third run. All right, now, yeah, Ingles got that good.
Yeah, no Porta John and Ingles.
He's getting a double gravy biscuit since Ingles got the good bathroom.
Anyone who's going to Wheeler for the first time this weekend, this is important. Eat what you need to on the way up there because there is such an incredible heated bathroom when you
spacious, roomy,
very spacious. Yeah, you're going to really enjoy that.
From what I've heard, I've never
allegedly,
it's amazing.
Okay,
I think
your third stop.
I will say my favorite place. Actually, one of my favorite. Just truthfully, one of my favorite places on any lake, which I will not be volunteering to run down there for the tournament, but First and Second Creek. This time of year, once it starts getting really cold, that's one of my favorite places on any lake in the fall, in the whole like that I've ever fished at. Just because you get these like random little weird patterns. I remember one time when the leaves started falling, me and my papa got on a pattern down there that was flipping leaf mats, and it was like an actual, real runnable pattern. And all the leaves were falling, just blowing into these like kind of deeper, steep banks, and it was the oddest thing, but. Floating leaf mats piled up, and it was like a real thing in there.
Okay. I will say that's not a pattern I have ever heard before.
Junk fishing.
Any lake. Junk fish. Is that what it's normally patterned?
That's junk fishing.
Jason,
listen, that's Big Albert right there, man. That's what
Big Al.
An Alabama fan. He's running around. He's looking for leaf. He probably brought a leaf blower with him. Leaf mask,
cleaning off the bank.
We're gonna have to ask John Simpson if that is a piece of equipment you can have in your boat on Saturday.
A leaf blower. That's incredible.
Leaf blower.
No, that area is just so cool down there in the fall. There's a lot of transition banks and like from really steep stuff to big chunk rock, and you can crank and catch a lot of fish out of that area. A lot of smallmouth to get down there. I don't know if you can win. I mean, I don't know, but
we saw a 20-pound bag from Justin Atkins down that way during the ABT 100 last fall, and then I know Hayden Marbett, the Toyota Championship that was the next week, is a little bit later, but it was one down there. A lot of checks got cut down there, so you know that comes into that scoping thing too, right? Like you see some cranking on those transition banks. Great jig fishing on that end historically, but man, the smallmouth scope deal has been going on down there for the last 2 or 3 years, and we'll see a lot of teams down there. I feel like I bet Hunter Davidson and Bryant Fikes might end up down there.
I was going to say, I don't know if y'all heard this or not, but scopers cannot catch fish without scope. Didn't know if y'all heard that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No.
I mean, I heard that. The verdict is still out. Maybe not. I don't know.
Okay. This just in, they can.
Breaking news.
Tucker Smith would argue that.
This just in. Turns
Well,
out the kids are all right.
let's talk about well, you saw a lot of ABT guys kind of up inside that hut. You got Mark McKeag, you had Adam Thane, Chris Colley, some of those other guys that fished ABT. I wouldn't necessarily bring them up unless I look back at 2015 and saw where Mark McKeag was in second when we had that heavyweight. They were 9 pounds back, by the way, 9 pounds separated first and second place. And then Adam Bay and Chris Colley were 13 pounds back in fourth place, and Damian Willis and his partner, then Mark Stewart, were back about 13 and a half pounds. So those are names that we're very familiar with on the Alabama Bass Trail getting it done. Anything that they saw last week at Guntersville going to help them this week at Wheeler?
No,
Not
I
unless
don't
like
think. I yeah, I think I think no.
Okay.
I think maybe some baits, maybe some baits possibly, but like not necessarily the pattern stuff. Which I did hear Tim was saying that he was catching some fish way down the lake at Guntersville, so like maybe that would be somewhat relatable to possibly what he could find. I would think maybe just the baits, because like most of those guys I think were flipping. It sounded like a lot of them were flipping heavy grass and frogging.
I know Mark was doing some dock stuff like that. You might be able to translate that to Wheeler. I just Guntersville again with the grass. It's just so dominant up there, man. That place is amazing. Plenty of
I
places.
wonder too, like how many? Maybe Luke, you're old. You would know this.
Oh,
How many?
you're old.
How many? How many tournaments on Wheeler get one fishing dogs? I didn't mean to throw. I didn't mean to hit you with one like that. How many Wheeler tournaments get one dogs? Like
Back in
Guntersville,
the
there's
day,
back before side imaging.
well, back when my daddy paddled us around, Darien, we won in Elk River one time,
That's-
Anderson Creek. I think historically, man, as far as like a major 3-day deal, no, I can't think of any. Honestly,
Yeah.
it's to me, Wheeler's a very offshore dominated lake. Whether that's the flats, obviously shallow offshore, it can happen down the lake. Uh, it doesn't get one on the bank there a lot, in my opinion. I mean, there are windows. Obviously you got some schooling fish that can play, but man, I think for the most part, big tournament wins over 2, 3, and 4 days have always been offshore. Whether that's tail race, the flats, lower end deep hole, kind of bite. I can't think of any that have been won on Wheeler.
But one of those things that's changing it up this year is that lack of grass this year. And we have always said year after year coming up till this year, the grass is getting better. The grass is getting better. And we all three have been, walking distance from the ramp. And we could paddle. We literally could paddle over and filmed all day long, guys just dropping them. I mean, 2 years ago there, maybe it's 3 years ago there, guys are throwing 30 pounds in the boat, and had a crazy day out there. Made some great TV that day, but that's when the grass was coming back. And now, for whatever reason, there's a mystery. It's not there. It's not there as much as it has been. So that definitely changed some of that EQ stuff up a little bit. So guys who have gone to Wheeler and been there before, when there wasn't grass, are going to be successful, I think, in this event for sure.
One question we always ask teams when we interview them is about boat number. Do you really think boat number is going to be? I mean, it's 170 boats. Is the rotation going to be? I mean, we invert the field day one. So if you're boat one on day one, you're going to be boat 170 on day two. Is that going to matter as much in a
Yes.
2-day event?
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
the tail race deal, and then they're going to get flipped the next day. Yeah, I think that definitely matters in this one.
And even, I mean, you look at a spot like Laker Hal had. I don't think Laker had a giant area whatsoever. I think he had a really small deal he was doing, and if he was the only one, I think that found that exact deal. But if you're leading, going in, and you got 3 or 4 boats around that know where you're at, and they're within striking distance in the top 10, I mean that reversal in that boat launch will definitely impact things.
do you want it on day one or do you want it on day two, boat one?
I want it on day one so I can
Day
establish
one.
that that's where I'm at because of the kind
Yeah.
of the written rules of multi-day tournaments.
Yeah.
If it's my place and I smash them on it and you watch me smash them, I'm expecting that courtesy on day two. Now, not necessarily in the rules. We do have a distance rule that you have to stay so far back, but yeah, I want it on day one.
But if your boat's
It's-
70,
it's-
I mean, you draw
I
middle of
think
the
if you're,
pack.
I think you're still going up there. The difficult thing is if you're in the top 20 boats and you're going and you wanted to go to the dam and you get boat 1 through 20, you know you have a good shot to get up there first. But if once it flips, you might not even make the run up there because if you saw 20 or 30 boats up there, you might not even make the run on Wheeler because there's not enough stuff to get on up there. And I mean, we've heard that plenty of times in ABTs on Wheelers. Like I'm boat number in a normal event, I'm boat number 200. I know I'm not going to get anything. We're just going to go down the lake. Like they just totally scrap it. So if you're in the first 20 boats, catch them day one, but you saw 30 other boats up there, I doubt they even run up there. So you're like really hoping that you can have that anchor from day one to carry you through day two.
When do they know their boat number, Kay?
They'll get their first boat number on Wednesday night at 7 o'clock.
I'll text y'all the list. I got a list. If anybody wants to.
No,
So
no.
after
It's a good way to get fired, Darien.
after
It's a
practice,
good way to get fired.
he's been fired
Okay.
3 times this year already.
I'm glad I didn't say because I was gonna say boat number 84 is who I'm picking to win, but I guess
Just say it
no
out
one would know
loud.
that.
I'm picking boat 84. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even know who boat 84 is. I don't have my
Me and
list.
Jason, boat 84, me and Jason.
Yeah.
Well, question about boat number, Darien. You're boat number 20 and you get to your spot. Do you lean on them day one? You catch as much as you can day one? Do you try to save something for day
Yeah.
two, or do you just stack them up day one?
If you're fishing at the dam, I think you definitely catch everything you can. It just depends on where you're fishing at because like at the dam, you're not going to get you might get back on the same thing, but odds are against you that you're going to get back on the same. It just matters if there's people around you or not. I'm definitely leaning as hard as possible if there's any people around at all. But then you got people like Tuck. Yeah.
You better lean.
You're leaning until
Yeah.
you get to 30 pounds, right?
Dirty 30. Yeah. I
Leaning.
I think so many
yeah,
times
just
covering multi-day events, what I see over the years is people backing off. And they're like, man,
Yeah.
because here's what happens in tournament bass fishing, and y'all know it as well as I do these days. All right. They always catch them better than we ever expect, right? Like look at Gunnersville this past week. Look at every event we had this year. I don't care the conditions. I don't care the time of year. They always catch them. How many times this year have we had a tournament where we were like, well, they didn't catch them like we thought they would? It's always better. So you better stand on it on day one in this deal because you're going to look up and you're going to be 4 pounds back, because like, well, I was trying to save my fish for day two. I think that's a kiss of death for a lot of anglers a lot of times in multi-day events.
Well, I agree with you. I think to me, Weiss Lake stands out the most. How they caught them in those conditions, I have no idea. Absolutely insane of how they caught them in those conditions. Blast off going to be around 7 o'clock, 3 o'clock's first check in. Let's talk about your weight guesses before we get into who you have picked and who your dark horse is. Jason, what do you think the weight is going to be over 2
Make me
days?
go first. I got you. Show my cards. I'm definitely 20 pounds a day. I may even inch up 21 and a half.
Okay,
Pretty
so you
easy.
think 43 overall?
Pretty easy. Yeah.
Okay, Darien?
I'm gonna say 45 and a half.
All right,
Just
Luke?
because the weights, just because like how there was, I think there was really only 2 like major outliers in that EQ, but they were very much so being outliers. I think our guys can definitely figure that out. I'm going 45 and a half.
I'm going
Luke?
44-3, 22 a day ish. And that's banking on somebody having a big day one and then backing it up with like, I don't know, 19 or something.
Okay.
I think we'll see potentially a mid-20s bag in this event. Team tournament, couple weeks after the EQ, weather's a little cooler, like you said, water temperatures are changing. Fish are biting. I think we'll see a big bag or 2.
In the championship, we have 2 days off limits, Monday, Tuesday, gives the lake a little time to rest. little time to recover. Do you like that we have some off limits there?
I think so. I think it's a good
Yeah.
thing.
I mean, it's off limits for us, but there are other guys out there whacking them all day long.
Yeah.
So I mean, it is Alabama, so they're still going to be fishing tail race all day, Monday and Tuesday.
I'm gonna be down. I'm gonna be down there.
Look, and Darien, it's not off limits for them.
It's not off limits for us.
And
It's on limits for us.
yeah, exactly. That's a little known fact. That's when we're having our tournament.
yes.
Oh,
It's our
Noah,
champion.
Jared being
We
all
go-
the
Y'all don't have to worry
Off-limits
about us beating
championship.
too much up, though. Trust me.
No.
Noah and Jared Steady catch some fish in the off limits sometimes. You have to worry about them Georgia boys.
That would be a good thing. I mean, the off limits, the whole lake's in play at that point.
Exactly.
The off limits championship.
The greatest off-limit tournament of all time.
I wish
We do
people
need with next year. We need to
You
make
weird
the
guy.
off limits for every tournament just a touch bigger.
Just
You
a
know
one,
what I mean? Like,
yeah.
We need
Let's
Put
do
to
out
that.
one
touch
more
bigger.
dog. One more dog. Give us
Yeah.
one more dog.
yes.
I think we need to live stream the off limits tournaments.
Oh,
Is
we
what I
can.
think
We got the
need to
cameras
do.
right there.
I'm
We
down.
have
We just
to-
need a little bit more space. We're very cramped up in our off limits tournament.
We would have live streamed the off limits event at Lake Martin.
Yes.
He would have never fished again because Jared was just smashing them in the back of my boat in the off limits. Good ones too. Jared would have
Yeah.
had one heck of a day.
He would have been hoisting that big check's what he would have been doing. That's for sure.
Yeah. He was
All right.
catching them.
I had
He's leading the points
43.
for sure.
I had 43 on my sheet for my guess was 43 pounds. I do think we beat the 2015 record. So that's kind of where I am on that. Let's start with, did y'all pick the top 3 North and top 3 South teams, or did y'all just pick 3?
I
just pick,
actually picked 5 because we normally do
Okay.
5 in the
okay,
course.
that's fine. That's fine. That's
But
fine.
if
All
I
right.
throw everybody for a loop, I probably got, I got extra notes, Darren. If you want me to text you, I can help you.
Text me a couple of them notes, cuz.
All right, Luke, let's go ahead. Let's hear it.
Are we doing the 5?
Hey,
Go ahead
hey,
with
this
5.
reminds me of school, by the way. Miss K being the teacher, us 3 being the students. And I would always, as a student, try to collaborate throughout the day, knowing there's a test coming up. So I would try to get a couple brownie points and make everybody laugh. Yeah. And then what would happen? I would try to make the teacher laugh a couple times so that when it's time to turn that homework in, she gives me a couple of like, she felt bad type points, like give me like a little extra 10 points or something.
A little smiley face on the paper and said, "Do
Yeah,
better."
yeah, that was me.
That's you. Okay.
All the time.
All right. I am
People qualified for this event from the North and the South. All right. So this is the championship. We need to make sure that you know which
All
time.
right.
Yeah. Get the right sheet out here. You probably got the wrong boat number sheet.
Friday and Saturday. It's a 2-day event there. And so, all right, my picks: Mark and Tim, Mark McKeag, Tim Hurst. I mean, listen, our guys I thought Mark McKeag was fixing to win a $500,000.
I did too.
Like I've been tore up like a kid, like, oh man. And we got a lot of ABT anglers that were in the mix over there, man. I was so proud of so many of them, but I really thought after day 2, I'm like, Mark McKeag's fixing to win a $500,000. Unfortunately, he slid down to like 6, but still a great payday for him. But Mark and Tim, like you said, Miss K, second place years ago. You can't pick against them in the whole state of Alabama. They've got a great history on Wheeler. I feel like they'll have a great event here. Damian Willis, Tyler Cocker, got them for sure in my top 5. Adam Bain, Chris Colley, also coming off of a great event last week in Gunnersville as well. They weighed in back to back, which I thought was crazy. And the MC, he didn't really know anybody, so I doubt he knew that. But I thought that was pretty cool. Shout out to Lurch.
I can't believe, I was shocked when I saw that he was on the stage. I saw some pictures and I was like, is that Lurch? Yeah.
It was Lurch. Lurch, who also, just sidebar, said, Lee Livesay. Well, now what is it that you do for a living? Anyways, who needs homework? I actually messaged Lee Livesay last week. He posted about his finish, and I said, well, dude, I hope with this check you can quit your day job.
I saw that.
Your dreams. Shoot for the stars, Lee Livesay.
Live
I'm
say.
going Zeke Gossett, Ethan King, because why not? Zeke just won that regional, made the BFL All-American. They have always called him on Wheeler, except for mechanical issues in the ABT 100 last year, probably kept them from winning AOY there potentially. One horrible day, but we've watched them a lot. I personally have got to cover them, I feel like, several times on Wheeler. They catch them there. So I think they'll be in the mix. Brent Crow, Jimmy Mason on down that points list, but there's not two dudes in the field that'll know more about Wheeler when we take off Friday morning. And then my dark horse, and really shouldn't be, to be fair, but Hunter Brewer, Nathan Brewer.
Wow, I'm glad you picked all the top 6 people that have ever done good
it's
in
pretty
ABT.
easy.
So
Just
made
scroll
made
through.
it easy for
I
us.
got
That was
this guy. I
incredible.
got this guy.
That was incredible. You just picked the North All-Stars from, if we were doing an NBA selection, you just picked the whole entire All-Star team.
There's in there too, dude. Mark and Tim.
All right.
South
I'll go next. That way,
English.
Jason he has to pick somebody that we said. I don't have however many you just said. That was too many. I'm going. I think sometimes you want people to win. You know what I mean? And there's a little bit of unfairness in that because we're supposed to be level. We're supposed to pull for everybody. You know what I mean? As
I
the
don't think you can
MCs.
say what you're fixing to say.
Probably
Angela,
not.
edit this part out. Angela, edit this part.
Yeah. I would think that it's awesome to see Mark and Tim both coming off both of them seem like they were hot on that tournament. They always do really good. I would say I always show a little like I want them to win. So I'm gonna go with Mark and Tim. I was gonna say Adam Bain and Chris Colley. They also like it seems like they do really good on big tournaments. Like I don't know if I'm making that up or not, but like it just seems like they don't fact check me, dude. Let me have my.
They won the 2018. They won the 2018
Yeah.
Alabama basketball
Big
championship
tournaments.
at
That's what I'm
Fort
saying.
Henry.
Hey,
They've done it.
he
They've done
didn't
it.
know that.
Yes, I did, bro. I got notes, bro.
Chris won Pickwick solo the first year of the Alabama
I
Bass
knew
Trail.
that, bro. I knew that.
I fished that tournament. Anyways, finished dead last. Continue.
I know that Fisher has a couple of little things that he likes to do, and there's a lot of those on Wheeler. I know that one of the previous tournaments he found like this little sneaky thing. The fish just moved for him. I think if what he likes to do is working, he will. I think he's got a really, really good shot to win because it's real specific. It's the thing that's happening on Pickwick, and he's really good at it. So I'm gonna go. That's gonna be my 3 picks. But my other boat was clearly, I can't say their boat number, but the one that I mentioned first, Brent Crow and Jimmy.
You sure you don't want to
That's
throw
4.
you don't want to throw Laker Howell in there?
He'll
too?
do
Right?
he'll do good. Him and
He's
Laker
man,
and Randy.
Laker and Tucker Smith, man, like they're going.
They're
going
to whack them,
that's
right?
all catch 'em.
Yeah. They always do. Every time the ABT pulls up anywhere, Laker and Tucker just smash on them. I'm gonna go Brent, and if I had to put money on it, I'm gonna say Brent and Jimmy win it.
You got a
That's my
dark
pick.
horse? You got a
No.
dark horse? You have no
No.
dark horse.
I don't even know what dark horse it actually means. All right, just
So-
put Jimmy and
Somebody
Jimmy
you
and
think
Brent.
may not win, but could win.
Yeah, that's not a dark
that's
horse.
like a long shot team. We'll come back to you, Darren.
Hey,
Let you think
Hunter,
about
Nathan
that.
are a long shot.
He's
Kate.
going to go with Laker
Come
Howell.
on
He's going to
now.
go with Laker Howell. He's still with Laker.
Hold on, watch this. I think that Jimmy and Brent are a dark horse because they have so much pressure on that lake. And I also think, correct me if I'm bro, what are y'all eyeballing me about, bro? I'm about to leave.
That was
this
my
chat,
dark
bro.
horse. That was my dark
Was it
horse.
actually? Okay, so I don't know if there's one
Collaborate.
here, but it seems like they always just fall a little bit short.
Well, they
They fell a
always
little bit short.
put in across the way and drive over. You know, they're never launching at that ramp. They're last minute in.
They need to get in line, launch at the ramp, go do number 2 in the big nice bathroom, and then head on out there.
Wait, knock on the door to get you out of there.
Yeah. I do like that because that's one of them deal here. This is another really good nugget for everybody that's traveling. There's a boys' room and a girls' room on this deal. And it's one of those that like there's not a lot of girls in the morning. So you get in line over here and like look for Kay or Amanda because they're the only 2 girls that should be going to this bathroom. But then you don't see them.
And Harrison?
Go in there.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not naming every single girl.
Big fish, big fish.
Did you
He's been
read
holding-
I'm not-
story this
he
week?
he doesn't know that I even wrote a story.
No, I
about him.
didn't, dude. Chill. But it's one of those you come out of the girls' room because there isn't any girls,
AlabamaBassTrail.org.
and then you actually see a girl, and you're like,
Let's just tow it up from the flow up.
As I mentioned
Oh.
earlier in this podcast, I've lost all control over this situation, and holy smokes! All right, Jason. After all of that, do you have some picks for
I
us?
have a team. I have some teams. So, I
Okay,
mean,
let's do it.
everybody's sitting out there. Zeke is on a hot streak right now, so he's definitely on the list. When you get that momentum going your way, you're going to be one of those teams that is definitely, you're going to be up there. I'm gonna go ahead and throw the dark horse out there first, second maybe. Um, I a Foster Bradley and a Nick Harris. Guys have had success, and guys need to bring it to the North and really show that, hey, we can compete with these North guys too. But like everybody else, we're going to go down the All Stars on the North list. Um, Damian Willis and Tyler Cocker. You have to have them on your list if you're making a list in this one. Another one, Fisher and Ryan. Fisher just did so well at the EQs and, was right there in the spot, I feel like, to win it. And current just changed. Big changes happened to a spot. So that's an important thing. Zeke Gossett and Ethan King. Yeah, we need them. We need them on there. So here's another one, another dark horse here. Been doing well. He kind of won a big deal in the EQs, or actually in the North. We'll call it the North of the Opens there. Anybody, do you know who that might be, Darien? Did you pay attention to any of that?
Like
Lucas
your Hal
Lindsay.
on a walking boss.
Say it again for him.
Lucas Lindsay.
Lucas Lindsay.
Been having
Did,
one heck of a year.
having
And
one heck of a year.
top 10 in the EQ.
Top 10 in the EQ. Been fishing really well. Been kind of watching him lately and just thinking he could probably pull this one off. I look for him to do really well. He had the fish to do really well, even better in the EQs, and lost one. So I think those guys that have kind of had that extra practice have been down there when it was kind of like it is going to be. They had a cold front kind of come in that kind of shut down some of their stuff, but the practice is the way tournament day is going to be for this event. So I think a lot of those guys already have a leg up. So that's why Fisher's in there and Lucas is in there. So Lucas has got some special things coming too. So keep an eye out for maybe his boat on the water that day. So it'll be a cool day. So, all right.
Running a
That's,
pontoon or something?
no, just
That'd be cool.
just a cool deal for him. So pretty cool. So
Where are you getting this insider information?
man,
I mean,
I actually went to the weigh-in for those guys. And yesterday I was there at the weigh. I got tired of not going to weigh-ins with us. I normally nap at the weigh-in, but now I'm able to walk around and get to see these guys. It was
we're going
really
to have
cool.
to make him a Roman reporter to keep him awake during the weigh-in.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, definitely. You sit still at our weigh-in, it gets so hot you have to fall asleep just to breathe.
Unfortunately, that week, and fortunately, because I'm grateful to get to do what I do, but I could tell you more about Lake Hartwell than I could Wheeler that week. I knew a lot about spots and cane piles and largemouth, but I didn't get to. I got to see clips and I got to look at the standings from the EQ at Wheeler.
But some of these guys that have been like a Mark and Tim who have been really fishing well last week even. We forget some of these guys have jobs and they have to go back to work sometimes. So I think Mark and Tim may have to work a little bit this week and may miss a little practice. So some of those guys that have been, cashing, okay, shaking her head, no, I talked to them yesterday. They were like, we may need to go back to work a little bit this week just to check in. And of course,
Lies.
15 minutes,
Lies.
Yeah. And that's what they were all saying. It's going to fish really tough.
Well,
I'm
I mean,
like,
we're off limits
liar.
Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah,
Tuesday,
yeah.
we're off limits. So yeah, they might
Yeah.
work Monday, Tuesday.
Go back to work. Yeah. So
They ain't working Wednesday, Thursday.
They ain't working
No.
with you Thursday. Not happening.
but
Not happening.
The two boat practice will be in full effect.
It will be in full effect and they will be running and gunning. All right. I'm going to give you my names, and I have some of the same names you guys have, but I have a couple of different names. First off, Nolan Spencer and Jonathan Reese. I like them on Wheeler. They had a really good performance on Pickwick this year, pretty decent on Gunnersville as well. They're good Tennessee River guys, so I have them. And these are in no particular order, by the way. Mitch Mitchell, Candler McCollum, heaviest weight on Wheeler in an ABT, all species in that bag. I just think they have a lot. I know Mitch has a lot of time on Wheeler, good Tennessee River guy, so I have him. Fisher and Ryan, I have them as well because Fisher has been on the lake. He had a lot of time and a lot of reason to be on that lake. So I think, and then, it's kind of like his second home lake. I think he probably fishes there more than he fishes at Smith. So Damian Willis, Tyler Kiker, looking through the standings, I remember standing there talking to Damian last November when we were there for the ABT 100, and he kept saying, I cannot believe how good these guys caught him, even as good as he knew it was. And I had some parking lot time with several of them before that event, and they were talking about how good the fishing was at that time. So hopefully we'll see that. Ben Webb, Justin Bussey, gotta like those guys. Not the season they wanted this year from an Angler of the Year perspective, but they had a really good season. My dark horse, of course, is Brent Crow and Jimmy Mason. And I say this because they just hadn't won yet. And I think everybody's probably surprised by that with having Pickwick and Gunnersville and all of that. They've not fished as a team that long, but neither one of them have a win in an Alabama Bass Trail. And I think that's just crazy to me. And one other team that I think could do really well would be Blake Hall and Jeremy Lamb.
True.
So,
very true.
Don't know if they can win, but I think that they got a good potential to have a great tournament, no doubt.
Let me throw another one in there that we may have missed over. Bill Mayo and Walt Roberts.
Yeah. Yeah. Better go ahead and throw them on a list.
I thought about them over and over and over. They've got a win on Wheeler, and then Walt has a win in the ABT 100 just a couple weeks later in the year. Going to have to make a long run to make that happen, but I don't think they're scared of long runs.
Scared of it, no.
No, I think they're okay with that.
Long runs in bass fishing don't even matter anymore. I fished a high school tournament with my boys the first weekend in September, and there were 200 boats in the thing, and I bet 100 of them ran between 70 and 80 miles one way. And I'm like, and I thought I was being an idiot for running that far. And then I got where I was going, and everybody just kept running past me. And I'm like, long runs don't even matter anymore. The equipment we have, nobody checks up making a 100-mile run one way. As long as you can get gas, they're like, don't matter. Don't matter anymore. Used to, you were a nut job. You're like, man, I got running 40 miles. I can remember thinking guys were crazy from running from First Creek to Decatur when I club tournaments with my dad. I'm like 13. My dad's like, we're probably beat. That son of a gun's going to Decatur. And it might as well have been in another state to me in our 17-foot Bumblebee. I didn't know how to get there. And it turns out it was 20 miles up the lake. I mean, but my dad, well, we ain't going up there. We're going to fish right here all day. The spinnerbait. But now people are like, I ran 80 miles one way. Oh, yeah? Did you? They don't check up, man. Sorry.
I just want to point out that Darien is trying really hard today to get fired. He is trying really, really hard today to get fired. Just saying. Pointing that out.
I think with all the notes behind him, I mean, he'd be more.
He got it all marked out.
That's all. That's my ABT picks right there, bro.
That's prep. That's his prep for live.
That's his prep.
Day one speech, day two speech.
Yeah. I believe that. I've got some.
And the what not to do's on the other side over there. Be sure to get the right list.
That's just from the last couple of tournaments that he did, and he had to remind himself not to do those again.
Don't get out of the boat.
You do know that Luke actually asked what he had to do to get you fired. How bad does it have to be to get you fired?
That's fair. I'm one of the same thing.
It's obviously not
there's
the
been
wrong
some
list.
close
It's
calls.
obviously not pick up teams that aren't even in the tournament. I mean,
yeah.
To be fair, Miss K, that question was for all of us. I just want to know what the line is.
We're all.
I just use Darien as a scapegoat for that.
What can Darien do that I might slip up and do?
Also do as well.
Did you think about firing Darien last week when he said this?
Yeah.
No? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they get me on one of those pretty much every time I interview Luke.
The best text you've sent out this year so far in the off season is, "Hey, I need your shirt sizes for next year. This does not mean that you're hired for next year. I just need your sizes in case."
And by the way, neither Darien or Luke have responded.
Seriously.
Or to the W9 request.
The W9, I got back immediately. I thought I was late on the shirt
size. If I don't have that, I
can't
pay them. I mean, that's
good. But they are not fired. They're working for free.
They're just working for free. So thank you for bringing that up.
I'll give you a guess. It ain't small or medium anymore. Too many Jacks. It's a
Me
great
either.
over
Me either,
here.
son. Me either. Me either. All right. Well, we've just got about 4 days before we can be at Wheeler Lake. Jason will not be with us on Friday. Mr. Matt Lee will be covering for Jason as he's making Phoenix bass boats. We'll have Matt Lee on the water, Luke.
I'll make the
and
run to the dam on Friday. I volunteer to that now. Okay. I volunteer.
No,
I volunteer as tribute.
Matt's gonna have to sleep in a tent up there. He don't even know.
Yeah. I'll make it. I'll make it on Saturday, so I'll be there. All right.
All right, guys. Well, thank y'all for tuning in. Anything else y'all want us to know about Wheeler Lake or the ABT Championship before I let y'all go?
I don't know a lot about the ABT Championship, but I know them tide are rolling. Come on, can I get a roll tide?
Until
Okay.
Saturday, boy. Until next Saturday, third Saturday in October.
Hey, let's put a tide bet out here. Let's do a jump in bet. Let's do a jump in bet. Come on. Jump in bet.
Jump in bet. Is that a new term, Luke? Are we old on this one? Jump in.
I'm very old, Jason.
No. I'm just saying. I'm just saying the loser of the game, the other person has to, the man's got to jump in.
Jump in the water is what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The next time we'll be together around the water will be the first week in November for the ABT 100 on Wilson. And
that's a late game.
We don't kick till like 6:30.
Yeah. Okay. Never mind.
We could hang around and jump in after, I guess.
I don't know if you saw our defense against.
Kay's got the pool right behind her. Kay's got the pool right behind her.
We just shocked it. I mean, it's chemically ready. It's chemically ready. I think it was about 68 degrees yesterday.
Nope.
7.
7. I don't even know what the hell that is, but
my kids say it a lot. I'm sure it's not good.
Everybody is saying it a lot. Everybody's saying it a lot. I have no idea. So if you get a big bass that weighs in 6, 7, we're going to need to see that. Okay. We're going to need to see that. 6, 7. No big announcement. 6, 7. 6, 7. Okay. All right. Well, thank y'all so much. And I will see y'all Thursday or Friday morning. Darien, I'll see you 5 minutes before takeoff.
Perfect.
You'll see him go by.
No, I'll see y'all Wednesday night on the live meeting. Wednesday night.
Don't forget, we got to do that.
Yeah, I'll get that schedule and get it out to y'all. Thank y'all so much, guys. There you have it. I told you, you never know what is going to happen here on the Alabama Basketball Podcast when you invite Darien, Luke, and Jason on. So y'all stay tuned. Segment 3 up next on the Alabama Basketball Podcast, presented by Phoenix Boats.
Big banks only care about one thing: ROI. So when it comes to your small business, you can expect a big no. At AmFirst, we don't just invest in your business. We invest in you and your goals. With great rates on loans, lines of credit to help you grow, and business checking accounts. Because at AmFirst, business is personal.
Welcome back to the Alabama Bass Trail Podcast, presented by Phoenix Boats, the third and final segment of today's podcast. And it's a little long one. Those guys are absolutely hilarious and funny and hardworking all at the same time. So I did want to spend a couple of minutes. I know that over the past 7 to 10 days, the social media outlets have been abuzz about the boating accident that took place earlier this year on Smith Lake. That was not an Alabama Bass Trail event. However, it is on one of the lakes that we visit quite often. But I do know that that 11 seconds of video that was released has caused quite an alarming sentiment over tournament bass fishing. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that. Certainly let you guys know that we do everything we can possibly do inside the Alabama Bass Trail organization to keep safety of top of mind awareness. And we will continue to do that. I know some of you have heard the press conference held by the district attorney and have heard the recommendations handed down by the grand jury. I have read through the 2 pending lawsuits that have been filed in the state of Alabama, and some of the questions that have been posed to tournament organizations about the enforcement of boating safety some of the recommendations that we've had handed down from the grand jury, as well as some of the requirements that are being asked of tournament organizations as it in regards to the boating safety certification. So I wanted to talk about that just a little bit in how the Alabama Bass Trail is approaching that. Some of you may have also heard an interview that I did with ABC 3340 out of Birmingham, where I alluded to that the Alabama Bass Trail is very similar to a teacher in a classroom where we go over the assignment and we talk about the assignment, but then the student is left to either do the assignment or not do the assignment. And that's really the only way that I can put it in layman's terms. We talk about safety all the time. And in a lot of instances, tournament organizations go a step farther than what state and local laws require. There's no state law that says you must have your PFD on when you're running the lake. Tournament organizations require that you not only have it on, but you have it fully fastened and that you have your kill switch tethered. We go a little step ahead. Anytime the big motor's on, you must have your PFD on. So there are things that I think most tournament organizations really stress, but there are other just common sense things that I guess need to be reminded. Failure to post a proper lookout, angler distraction is the things that are angler inattention and being distracted driving, and failure to post a proper lookout were the things cited in the lawsuits or in the indictments. A lot of that are things we can't control as a tournament organization. Yes, we can verify if you have your boating safety certificate, but how someone operates a moving vessel is not something that we can control. We cannot be on all 225 boats. So we will continue to stress safety. We will continue to make sure that we do it in the same fashion every tournament. And we will remind you at takeoff to make sure that all of that is top of mind. I encourage and please beg that anglers will continue to keep your head on a swivel. Have an agreement with your partner when you get on the water that you're looking for boats that are coming from the right or the left, and that you constantly stay focused on what's ahead of you. Very tragic situation. None of us want that to happen, and none of us want to see other people on the water injured. We don't want to see our anglers injured, and so we'll continue to do that in an effort to do even better. Myself, my chairman of my board, Jack Tibbs, and our attorney will be going to Montgomery on October the 23rd to meet with Aaliyah to get a very clear understanding from them what our role is as a tournament organization and what their role is as a law enforcement agency. So we are working on behalf of the Alabama Bass Trail and the Alabama Bass Trail anglers and their families to do the very best that we can to ensure you that we are running a safe operation. That's not to say that we don't feel like we've been doing that. It is that we just always want to see if there's a way that we can do things better. And I'm sure that other organizations are doing the same thing. We all want to continue to have competitive bass fishing. And in order to do that, we need to continue to get better and better each time. So I do hate that for the families that are going through this. I do think any one of them will tell you no amount of money will bring their loved one back. But it is, it is something that we're going through right now. And as I tell my children, if you grow through what you go through, then it's been a success. So we are trying our best to grow through this situation. John, Daniel, Angela, and myself are committed to the safety of our anglers, as is our board of directors and all of our partners that support the Alabama Bass Trail. So I just wanted to give you an update on that. We are 3 weeks away from kicking off the 12th Alabama Bass Trail Championship on Wheeler Lake. Reminder, you can follow all the live coverage on alabamabasstrail.org, on our YouTube channel, Alabama Bass Trail TV, and of course on our Facebook channels as well, Alabama Bass Trail Tournament Series and the Alabama Bass Trail 100. 5 hours of live coverage on the water, as well as the weigh-in will all be live streamed, so you can take a look at it there. Also, I want to remind you, while you're in Decatur, make sure that you take time to visit some of the local dining, Big Bob Gibson's Barbecue, of course, BB Perrin's, Bank Street Grill, 609 Social, and all the chain restaurants, your Logan's and all of that is also located on the Beltline. But take a time to enjoy some of the local flavor there in Decatur. I don't know if you can go wrong with one of those big pork potatoes from Bob Gibson's that always hits the spot when I'm back at home. So, for sure, if you need anything or want to learn anything about Decatur and all that it has to offer, you can go to visitdecatural.org. All your places to stay, places to eat, things to enjoy while you're there, especially if you're bringing your wife or your kids with you. Things there are listed. If you want to go to the Cook's Museum, anything like that, you have an opportunity to do that. I want to thank Danielle Gibson, Don Dickmanier, and the entire organization for being our host this week and welcoming me back to Decatur, Alabama. We are 18 days away from the ABT 100 on Wilson Lake. We will be crowning a new champion there, as well as an Angler of the Year team that will get those beautiful belts to take home with them. We are 48 days away from payments being due for the 2026 Alabama Bass Trail 100 and 66 days away from the Alabama Bass Trail payments being due on December the 19th. And that's really kind of all I have. I do want to say that it's been a hard fought, very well worth it 2025 season. We still have some work to do to finish up this season, and then we will jump into 2026. I can't say enough about our team. I can't say enough about our fans and enough about our anglers. We are so very blessed. I want to thank you for tuning in today. There's a lot of shenanigans going on behind the scenes on the Alabama Bass Trail, and you got just a sneak peek of that today. We look forward to seeing you in Decatur, Alabama later on this week for the 2025 Alabama Bass Trail Championship. But until then, get out and enjoy the great outdoors in the great state of Alabama or in your state. It's a great time of the year. It's cooling down. Long sleeve shirts are on, enjoying the beautiful sunshine today. So you guys have a great day, and we will see you in Decatur, Alabama. God bless, good fishing, and peace out.
Thanks for listening to the Alabama Bass Trail Podcast. To learn more about the Alabama Bass Trail, make sure and visit alabamabasstrail.org.